What's going on, you amazing people? Jacob Bowler here, and tonight we're going to have a little sneak peek into the world of fitness. Now you might be thinking, Jake, I don't want to hear about fitness, but guys, I'm not just talking about the physical fitness. I'm talking about the three elements which we're made up of. Fitness in your mind, fitness in your body, and fitness in your soul. Now, it would be more endurance of the mind, body, and soul. It would be more strength of your mind, body, and soul. And you got to understand, there's three elements to us. There's three majoring factors to whether we are healthy or unhealthy, whether we are fit or unfit, whether we are flexible or unflexible, whether we are strong or weak. And you can't separate these things. You can't have an unhealthy mind and a healthy body. And if you have a healthy mind and a healthy body, but you have an unhealthy soul, now there's no such thing as an unhealthy soul. Just get this. It's more got to do with it is not engaged, like your core. It is not engaged. Your soul is not engaged. It's not in control. But it never takes control, like an ego. It simply is in control when you let go of control. Do you understand? You must not try, it must be. This might sound crazy, but that's how it works. You mustn't ever try. Otherwise, that act of trying equals it never being. Trying is another word for preparing to fail. You understand? So like the soul works, the soul is in control when you no longer are trying to control anything. It's a faith thing. It's freely surrendering yourself. It's letting yourself be vulnerable. Because you must be vulnerable in life. You must be 100% vulnerable. 100% vulnerability makes you invincible. 100% vulnerability, no one can put you down. No one can pick on you. No one can make you feel like crap. No one can be mean to you. No one can embarrass you. No one can ever bully you ever again. When you're 100% vulnerable, you're 100% free of everything. Don't try to defend yourself or hide yourself or like play a certain game like so that you don't get, found out. You see your weaknesses or your fears. No, guys, be vulnerable. See, people want to live in denial. People want to escape, and they use everything to get away from that. Even our physical fitness. People use their physical fitness to get away from the internal disease. Do you know what I mean? So they externally try and get themselves healthy, and they externally look a certain way so that they get to cover up their internal unhealthiness. It happens all the time, superficial. You go to anywhere, there's certain places all around the world, there's a certain spot that you will find all the fake people. With none of this heart. None of this realism. They just live in a fantasy fake world and they see it as, well, this person says this and acts like this and they look happy. They look like they don't deal with the same issues I deal with, so I'm going to go seek that instead, and that's going to make me happy and I'm going to feel great and people are going to love me, I'm going to love myself, I'm going to be confident. But that person that you saw is just playing the same game as you, faking it. This whole terminology of fake it till you make it, well, you never actually do. Law of attraction, you fake it, you'll continue to spend a life faking it. You'll never actually make it because you never can be anything that you're not. For you to make it, you must be that which it is. You can't be the opposite of it and then somehow expect yourself to be it. It's like gravity, man. You can't play with it. You throw it up and it comes down. You can't mess with this internal and external conflict that people are having, and they externally represent what they internally are. And now sometimes it's not true. You can't judge a book by its cover. Take me, for example. I don't look like the guy, the type of man that has this wisdom. No, I don't look like a spiritual teacher. I don't know, life coach, maybe personal trainer, but it doesn't look like that. From the outside, people judge me. And that's fine, because I'm vulnerable. I learned to be free of all the bullshit inside of me and all the fear. I had to become absolutely vulnerable. So do you. When you become vulnerable, I just let it all out. And when you do, you just be like, oh, what did I spend my life pretending and hiding? And I feel like shit. And then people pick on me and they seek that out. And only people that bully and pick on people and see this weakness, they see it as weakness. But they don't know its ultimate strength. See, if you're trying to defend yourself, or you're trying to hide, or you're trying to whatever, people will smell that. But people will only ever once mistake your serenity, your surrenderance, and your peace and kindness for weakness. People will try and they will fail miserably to try to bring you down when you are no longer pretending to be something you're not. When you're 100% vulnerable and someone tries to pick on you, or bully you, or say something mean to you, or physically hurt you, and you're just like, they're like, say something rude or mean, and you're no longer reacting to them. It's like this world of fitness and health and obesity that's ravaging this poor planet. You try and live in denial. Live in a world where it's not your prevalent thought. You try and hide it with clothing, you try to hide it with this, hide it with that. It is literally you just pretending to be something that you're not because you don't want to look at what you are. You don't want to acknowledge that. It's just gluttonous behavior. Just gluttonous. Understand this. The cure to all things is consciousness. So you to live in a fantasy la-la land and in denial isn't making you any better. And for you not to be 110% vulnerable with this, where you're at, you're living in denial and you can't be conscious in denial. So embody it, embrace it, embody it. See where you're at. Now, people who are dealing with obesity, just acknowledge it. Keep that consistent thing up happening. Every single thing, yes. I'm obese, I'm overweight. And don't do this. Understand that if you change the way that you think, feel, and believe about things, those things change. Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Remember that quote? It's 100% true. So instead of denial, it doesn't exist, I'm over here, I'm not gonna have it. Instead of getting angry at other people who bring it up or offend you, you're offended by everything. Why would you be offended? Only an ego is offended. Because it's hiding, it's in a denial state, it's in a reactive state. Respond, react. A master never reacts. Even if it is something directed at them narcissistically, they don't react ever. Do you know why? What have they got to react of? They're not out of control, they're in control. They're not surrendering their sanity, they're not surrendering their peace. They're not giving that up. The person isn't worth it. They're priceless inside. So they don't surrender this beautifulness. They never surrender that. They see it, they don't even get reactive from it. It's just a thing. Just like the voice in your brain, the ego that's constantly there. You do it. And you'll just see it coming and coming over and over and over and over and over again. The same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same feelings. But you can change that. Now this is what you do. You become conscious about it. If you're physically struggling with something, whether it might not just be obesity, it might be anorexia, it might be bulimia, you might have body dysmorphia. body dysmorphia is heartbreaking as well. You can never see your physical form for what it really is. Why do you think like this whole fitness and bodybuilding world is so out of control? Everyone wants to be big. For why? For why and what? Is it for you? So what I want you to do is become conscious around it, guys. And every single time you become conscious around your physicalness, change the way you feel about it. Because every time I'm fat and I'm overweight and I'm too, like, you know what I mean? Or you're like that constant, I'm too small or whatever it is. Do this. Become conscious. Change the way you feel about it. Change the way you think about it. Change the way you react to respond to it. And it will change. Now another thing that you got to put into play is set your intentions. If in here it is completely off the rails, physical form will never be anything but except off the rails. You can change the cellular structure. You can. You can change water. If water changes by the label it's surrounded by, well, we're a 90, people argue 80, some people argue 90, I truly don't give a shit, we're made up of water. Wouldn't that cellular structure change? Going out in the sun makes fat little cells, like this, just simple things like this. There's hundreds of these beautiful things that the human and the environment interact with each other and we don't use them. So go back, rewind, and what do? Become conscious. Then what do? Change the way we feel about it. If we're all sad and miserable and I'm not good enough and I'm ugly and I'm this and I'm that, what do you think that you're creating? More of what it is. Instead, positive of something that you're positive about. Maybe that might change things just a little bit. It'll change a lot. If you start feeding yourself, this is where the soul comes in, from the beginning. If you start feeding yourself positively, imagine the nutritional value that your physical being, internally and externally, will be, is if you start feeding your soul food. Imagine that. Imagine exercising that soul. Imagine learning how to exercise that soul. Learning how it works. Because you figured out how it doesn't work, maybe figure out how it does work. Imagine that. Getting that flexibility happening so that you can bend and do things and you're not so rigid and you don't hurt yourself and pull your neck all the time, metaphorically speaking. Get that cardiovascular level pumped so that you're not stuffed in 10 seconds. Yeah, so you can endurance. Build that willpower. Build that physical, mental, emotional, spiritual endurance. Prove in here. Your mind will quit 1,000,001 times before your body will. You are limited physically by your mental strength, by your mental endurance, by your mental fortitude. So are you working out? Are you strengthening your mind? Are you learning new tactics, new movements? Are you learning how to lift properly? Are you lifting, bro? Are you skipping leg days, mate? I think you are. Never skip leg days in your brain. Because that's your foundation that you stand upon. If your brain is incapable of standing on its own 2 feet and it quits and gives up and says it's too much, it's too hard, I can't because of this, and this, then you'll never be anything but except that. But you can reprogram and retrain your brain. Feed your soul. Trust me, it works. And choose over and over and over the thing that you desire. Set that as your intention. I physically visualize what you choose your body to be like. Visualize what your mind needs to be to create that. Aren't we a thought manifestation? So a little secret that I used to do, guys, and you might be going, Jake, this or that, but guys, I have transformed myself physically so many times. I hit my perfect 100 kilos of pure muscle body. You know, being a professional athlete, I've done that, and I've lost it. And I've shriveled down into a person that can't go and exercise, can't get out of their house, you know what I mean? Because my accident, I broke my back. For 5.5 years, I deteriorated. There wasn't any reprieve. Doesn't matter if I'm lying down, standing up, there was pain. And I physically couldn't do anything. I was trapped. I had what I wanted. I had everything I worked and dedicated my life to. And I physically was just watching my masterpiece disintegrate in front of me. And all I could do. I had to watch that thing that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into. That I used to train 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. I had to watch it shrivel. I had to watch my posture disintegrate. I saw my spine just twisted and bent, all out of shape. And that twisted and bent my mind out of shape. I struggled with depression. I was in panic attacks and anxiety and PTSD. I was having freakouts and I didn't know why. I had no control over it. Anger for no reason. Do you know why? Because my spine was so cut off that when it's out, it just sends your body to fight or flight. You have no control over it. You're just flipping out. So my body's flickering from running and panicking and I can't be suffocated. Things in my face freak me out. Next minute, just raging. Just want to kill things. Just flickering in it. I had no control. Except here. And my whole fortitude was just training that mind to catch it, to make it safe, to jump on my own grenades that I create. I learned to go and have time out. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And holy shit. And you just go and you sort it out. You go to sleep, meditate, you change it, you write things out, you stretch, go have a hot shower, go back to, like, if I really need to go to physio. I learned to take care of it. And that funny thing about this, guys, I had my dream body, but I didn't have it ever. I was hugeosaurus. But in here, I was struggling with body dysmorphia. I was never big enough. And then I look back now, all those years, and I'm stunned by just what I achieved physically. But now, I can see myself for what I am and who I am, and that body dysmorphia is not there anymore. The actual journey of having everything you've ever wanted but not ever having it, that constant addiction that we go through, humans do it all day, every day with everything, every materialistic crap. And now, being free of that and being able to just ease your way back gently, but back into fitness, physically, it's an amazing story. It's an amazing, soul-fulfilling thing. And I gotta say, I'm glad it happened. I got to take all of my wisdom and all my willpower and put it into action. I took it away from the ego. I took my soul back. I physically visualized what I chose. I set my intentions, I visualized on it, and I kept feeding it physical body so that I could walk properly, so that I can go down the street, that I can go surfing again. I can go ride. I couldn't skateboard, people. I love longboarding. I couldn't even longboard. It was too painful. But now I can. I changed myself because I changed in here. I visualized and set my goals and I kept feeding it. And my body replicated and simulated what it was in here because I got here right. And when you physically can't do anything, Well, you can work out one part, that's your brain. So guys, get your soul food, get your nutrition and your proteins and your vitamins and your minerals and your water, exercise, and strengthen your mind. Strengthen your willpower. Prove self-belief to yourself. You can do that. Hold a squat. Literally, you don't have to squat, right? Just hold it, squat. Like this, you ready? And you just hold it. And then when you feel like failing, fail and immediately get back up, force reps. And you'll constantly just keep feeding it and keep going and going. The burnout will hurt, but guess what? The moment you stop, it'll stop. Doesn't matter how long or for how many times you do it. And that's how you build willpower and self-belief. Just push your quit in your brain further back. And this is the introduction to my famous pain training. The thing that will set you free from pain. Trust me. I'm a walking, talking example of that. And it is one amazing experience. Now I want to give you a little thing, guys. In this whole craze in the world of yoga, guess what? Guess what the development of yoga was for? It wasn't flexibility. It was nothing to do with athletes. It was nothing to do with strength. Yoga, the actual founding of yoga, was separate man from ego by using the physical body and being through pain and holding it, coming to peace with it, setting your intention and manifesting it. Pretty amazing. Now guys, I want to say something real quick. Now, disclaimer, yeah, personal trainer. I have a fitness app that's coming with nutrition and full fitness apparel and all the fun new bloody proteins and vitamins and minerals, all that fun stuff. Because someone has to combat the obesity epidemic, which is 30% of the population now. 8 billion people, 30% of them are obese. And then the other ones are dealing with other eating disorders, body dysmorphia. Like my sister was anorexic for 12 years. Like I'm pretty freaking experienced in the wisdom of this. Not the talking bullshit, no, the actual, you either rise or die. You know what I mean? So, all of that, and I just want to tell you this little thing about this. If you put nutrition and exercise together, you're going to get a 400% increase. So why would you ever think that's just two elements, food, nutrition, and exercise? Imagine the combination of mind, body, and soul. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a beautiful night. Love yous. I'll see you in the next video.